In the lower left area, we're going to stitch a waffle stitch again using 2 colors. In your book, you'll use your number 5 pearl cotton and a metallic braid, but for purposes of demonstration, I'm using 2 colors of number 8 pearl cotton so that you can see the development of the stitch easier. I have threaded and anchored both of the colors that I'm going to be using. And this one is also very simple because it shares holes with the Rhodes border, so it makes counting so easy. So we're going to begin with 1 long vertical stitch and then 1 long horizontal stitch. And one of the features of a waffle stitch is that the threads do not cross on the back. On the back, you will have an open diamond when you finish. So in order for me to have an open diamond when I finish, the next place that I bring my needle up is right here. Let's see if I can get, there we go. Because this is where I ended. I'm going to have an open diamond on the back, and so if I were to bring it up over here, there'd be a crossed thread. Over here, there'd be a crossed thread. Over here, there'd be a crossed thread. So I'm going to bring it up here so that way there won't be any crossed threads. The next stitch lays right beside the first vertical stitch. Now once again, because I am going to have an open diamond in the back, all of my thread carries are going to be alongside the border. So here's where the next stitch comes up. So now I have 2 vertical stitches and 2 horizontal stitches. This is where a lot of people begin to get confused. But remember, I'm making an open diamond on the back. So the next stitch needs to come here and go down there. And then the last stitch that I'm going to make with this color for right now is another horizontal stitch. So now I've got 3 vertical stitches and 3 horizontal stitches. Now when you're stitching a waffle stitch and you need to figure out what did I stitch last, it will be the stitch that doesn't have any thread on top of it. That's one good way to check and see where you are. Now, to bring the needle up where I'm going to need it next, I'm going to bring it up right here because that's where I need it next. Then I'm going to go ahead and stitch with the other thread. And I'm stitching in the exact same order of my first establishing stitches. Now don't worry, because all of the stitches are numbered in the diagram. So if you need to look at your diagram, feel free to do that. But if you can just remember that you're making an open diamond on the back, it will help you to stitch without having to look at your book so much. Okay, now we're going to do 2 stitches with the brown. So the next place that I'm going to need this will be right here. So I'm going to bring it up and park it out of the way on top of the canvas. Okay, now we'll continue with the brown. Now if you want to, when you're stitching this waffle stitch, you can do every other stitch with a different alternating the threads so that you have more metallic showing if you want. That's totally up to you. You can do that if you like. But I thought it would be a little different look to do it this way. Not quite as much shine. Okay, and I'm making an open diamond on the back. And now the next place I'm going to need this thread is right here. I'm going to pull it up there. And I'll just continue stitching in the same order that I've been stitching. Now, and that's all I'm going to be stitching with this color. So I'll anchor this thread later. For right now, I'll just leave it there, parked out of the way. A waffle stitch is a good stitch for a more expensive thread because most of the thread is going to be on top of the canvas. Okay, I'm going to run out of thread before I can finish this, but I'll show you how to finish the waffle stitch. I'll follow the diagram in the book. You will make one more round with the first thread. But to end your waffle stitch, you slide your thread under the first stitch of that round. Now, the reason why you do this is so that your waffle has a more complete and finished look. So that way each thread has one thread over it and one thread under it. So that will finish your waffle stitch. What I mean about the thread carries forming an open diamond on the back. These are all of the thread carries from my waffle stitch, and you'll see that there is nothing crossed, and I have an open diamond on the back. This is how your waffle stitch should look when you're complete, when you have finished it.